Good Morning Night Vale is brought to you by The Disappearances of Lydia Fontaine, a new independently produced and crowdfunded 10-episode original audio drama. Set in a deceptively familiar world of electronic surveillance and machine-mediated communication, The Disappearances of Lydia Fontaine follows Lydia Ryan and her friends, lovelorn Ethan and wannabe internet sensation Dee, as they struggle to unravel the mystery of her mother's disappearance. Escape the sinister Fontaine family, and survive the feud over her grandfather's supernatural legacy. It weaves bitter family drama and high-stakes intrigue with fantasy and cyberpunk elements to create a surreal mystery about secrets and grudges, old books, big data, and the promise of infinite knowledge. And do not forget the talking birds. It's a full-cast production with original music and a bespoke soundscape presented through a series of found-footage-style surveillance recordings. And it's important to note, this show was made entirely without generative AI. Even the computers are voiced by human actors. Episodes are free, and you can start listening right now with the Season 1 finale due to come out on August 16th. For more information, go to lydiadisappears.com. and find The Disappearances of Lydia Fontaine wherever you get your podcasts and start listening from the beginning.
Insurance isn't one size fits all, and shopping for it shouldn't feel like squeezing into something that just doesn't fit. That's why drivers have enjoyed Progressive's Name Your Price tool for years. With the Name Your Price tool, you tell them what you want to pay, and they show you options that fit your budget. Enough hunting for discounts, trying to calculate rates, and tinkering with coverages. Maybe you're picking out your very first policy, or maybe you're just looking for something that works better for you and your family. Either way, they make it simple to see your options. No guesswork, no surprises. Ready to see how easy and fun shopping for car insurance can be? Visit Progressive.com and give the Name Your Price tool a try. Take the stress out of shopping and find coverage that fits your life, on your terms. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
If you love something, set it free.
If it doesn't come back, it probably died of sadness because it thought you loved it.
Good Morning Night Vale. Hello, everybody. I'm Hal Lublin, your bi-weekly ray of sunshine.
And I am Meg Bashwiner, your bi-weekly moonlight friend.
And I'm Symphony Sanders, and I'm that thing where the sun's out, but then you can see the moon too. And we are
an eclipse?
Here. What? No, it's not an eclipse. It's when... It's
like early in the morning. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes in the morning, the sun is out and then you see the moon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that happens.
Or in the evenings, too. Yeah, depends on the time of year.
Meteorology friends, what do you call that? Anyways,
Get out.
What we're here to actually talk to you about is Welcome to Night Vale. Because, we like that show. We're in that show. We be about that show.
This week, we are discussing Episode 70B, aka Review. The original description as it appeared. A review of opening night at the new Old Night Vale Opera House. Should we talk about it?
Let's talk about
Let's talk about it.
I'll let everyone out there know that it is 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on September the 3rd. So if in 2 weeks when you're listening to this, and you're like, why didn't they mention the fact that we all now only eat cheese as our form of sustenance? It's just because it didn't happen yet.
Yeah, we didn't know.
Or maybe for some of you out there, it already has happened. But for the rest of us, we're still eating other proteins. So
that's right. Actually, I went to the farmer's market yesterday and I got this lovely artisanal goat Gouda that was made with nettle.
Ooh. With metal?
Nettle.
What is that? What is nettle?
It's like a herb.
It's a plant.
Yeah, it's a plant that you can usually find whilst foraging.
Stinging nettle. You have to cook it though, or else it
stabs your throat.
Yeah, it gets a weirdness. I learned that on new show I'm watching called Alone. Sorry.
About a person who just forages for nettle and then scratch their throat up one time?
It's about people who get left in the woods and they have to survive, but they want to be there. Yeah, the Rankless. Anyway, this other show, Welcome to Night Vale review. So this is the next part of our story where we last left. Carlos was kind of leaving Kevin in the desert otherworld, and we were like, okay, where's he going? What's happening? And then now we are at the famed opera, which Cecil has... The foreshadowing has been for the past couple episodes, I will do this opera review and then I will leave. So it's happening. It's today. It's the fucking opera.
This episode is great.
So good.
It's got everything you could possibly want. There is action. There is intrigue. There's an event that's happening. There's handcuffs. There's love. There's family. I almost said familia. Same thing.
The
The
familia.
Olive Garden version.
If you're here, you're familia.
They don't even
Chef's
know at
kiss.
Olive Garden that's Italian for family. I guarantee you. Whoever came up with that.
But yeah, there's so much that happens in this one, and I love it. I love it. Let's talk about the opera. First of all, Cecil's outfit, he's wearing sponge shoes.
Clogs and tights.
Oh, yes, and matching tights. I wonder if they're matching because of the color or matching because they are also made of sponge.
Both.
Okay. I was imagining that it had, that the tights were just the same color, but had tiny holes in it. Kind of like Swiss cheese.
Sure. The appearance of a sponge without actually being a sponge. Sponge-esque.
I know you guys don't watch RuPaul's Drag Race, but there was a drag queen that you had sometimes have to do like challenges where you make stuff out of like junk or whatever. And they made a dress using basically like gluing a bunch of sponges to a dress. And that's become basically most of their money. So I'm also imagining Cecil in an outfit that is very a la Monet Exchange. Like the Brillo ones that has the green and then the yellow, has the green on the top and then yellow.
Yeah.
So I'm imagining that's what Cecil's shoes kind of look like.
Cecil the person and Cecil the character are completely separate from one another. And yet I can
Really?
imagine
No.
Cecil the person wearing the outfit being described, at least on stage. And it wouldn't feel like, I would be like, okay, cool. I haven't seen that one yet. Like, that's all I would think. I haven't seen that outfit before. Cool. I realized what I said. I was like, I haven't seen that one yet. Like, I sound like an old, bitter guy. I don't want the world to change. I like everything to how it is. I haven't seen anything like that, and I don't want to.
Exhausted by Cecil's many weird suits.
Yeah. Just wear a regular suit. You just need a pair of pants and a shirt and a jacket, and then the tie makes it different.
But not for our Cece.
Not for Cecil. I'm just back to Cecil Baldwin's show clothing. He has a lot of really cool stuff. There was, he had some pieces crafted and sent to our Australia shows, and we were like waiting for them to arrive, and they arrived, and we got so excited, and I had heard they arrived, and I walked out on stage, and I was like, oh, the stage is really hot. Let me go find out what Cecil's wearing, and then let him know that it's super hot on stage. And I walked upstairs, and he turned to face me, and he was head to toe in a pleather, long Matrix style jacket with like sleeves and like to the ground. And I was like, I came up here to let you know that it's really hot on stage and to see your new outfit. I'm so sorry.
We all make choices, Meg. We all make choices. And
I was like, he's going to die down there. He's going to be.
but he didn't. He's still alive to this day.
He's a pro.
And it's not just us propping him up like Weekend at Bernie's.
Nope.
Wink. Wink.
Wink.
Wink.
Wink.
So, speaking of wild, wonderful spectacle shows,
Yes.
Yes.
let's talk about the opera, which has lots of cool things going on. There's not a nods to the Italian futurists in the description of this performance. The thing with the curtain only being a few inches off the ground, you can only see the feet underneath. That's a thing that the Italian futurists actually did as a part of their theatrical experiments. That's the neo-futurists, the comedy theater troupe art company that a lot of us in the Night Vale world come from. Our theatrical practices are based off of the Italian futurists. So the things that they did a they called their plays and performances, they called them battles, and they really uprooted convention with how they performed. So that's kind of how the neo-futurists have taken on certain things. Like there's a lot of elements of traditional theater that are completely turned on their head in the neo-futurist theater as well as the Italian futurist theater. Things like the curtain only going up so far, and then also the Italian futurists did a lot of wild stuff. They would triple sell seats. A lot of the futurist movement is just a revolt against things that were conventional. And they also did some really bad shit. They were very pro-war and they hated women, but
Hey, the arts.
The arts.
But did they have Frank Chen, a.k.a. Wink Wig, Hiram McDaniels? No, they did not have a literal 5-headed dragon.
That's right.
By the way, can we talk about the elephant in the room or the dragon in the room?
Sure.
You guys, it was Violet Head the whole time that had bought Cecil.
I love the number of plots that converge. It kind of like the whole episode reminded me of, I think it was in Ghost Protocol, Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, where they have a scene that's set in an opera where he is chasing, there are like 3 different parties that are all vying either to track one another or stop one another or assassinate someone. So it's based around the opera, which creates this sort of natural tension because of the way the music builds and all these different interests and things happening at once. For some reason that went through my mind, which is a compliment to this, to how it's sort of constructed, that all the lot that we finally find out who bought Cecil in lot 37. And then that blows up. What is his relationship with Dana Cardinal? Because he's been blaming her all this time and really he's been possessed by the 5th head of a dragon. And they finally see the Faceless Old Woman. Like people can finally see her as they're ready to enact this assassination plot. And even all the way through to the Doctor Who limousine, the TARDIS limousine at the end.
Yes. Yeah. That's bigger on the inside.
Yeah.
Impossibly big on the inside. Yeah, I loved the intrigue of the whole thing because I could see it playing out in my head, the Cecil losing consciousness part and all of the things happening on stage. So while he's describing the curtain being only a few feet off the floor, he looks at Dana and sees that she's looking forward, sees her assistant walking around and all this stuff, and the other people in the audience, and how vivid the descriptions were of every tertiary thing that was going on around him. And then, and the whole Faceless Old Woman stuff. The descriptions of everything was so well written to make you imagine what was happening. You could really see what was happening. And it did feel like, you referenced Mission Impossible, but it did feel like that type of movie, action, movie where everyone's at this, and it doesn't always happen things like that at a opera or a ballet or something.
Yeah.
Someone's always pulling off some heist or some strange mission, and then someone ends up dead.
100%.
Yeah. But not in this one.
The big event where everyone is gathered. And this is the culmination of this whole season. This is the end of season, whatever this was, 3, 4, 2015. So this was the end of that year. And so it really does pull in everything. We get all of our stuff. And the way that it's written, it bounces, it moves pretty quickly from part to part. So it's you're kind of stepping stones throughout the night, throughout what's happening, throughout the action, which I think is interesting. A lot of times with monologue storytelling, we end up with big paragraphs in Cecil's point of view. But this one, right, it's still Cecil's point of view, but they're much shorter. The thoughts and sentences are much shorter, which means it ups the pace. And so we're moving from action point to action point. And kind of, just literally jumping around the room. And it's the stage and Frank Chen and Dana and I thought there was some interesting bits in the part where Cecil can finally see the Faceless Old Woman.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Where he says, in my dream, she had been underwater among coral, young and whispering and faceless. And it's such a huge nod to what happens in the novel.
I know.
It's like, they must have gone back and been like, what is everything we've ever said about the Faceless Old Woman?
I was just going to say, like, when I know we've discussed this with both Joseph and Jeffrey at some point, but like, my mind is like a sieve. When did they start deciding on to write this book, or it's been a while, like they thought about it for a while? Like, had they been planning this for a while? Like, did they go back? Did they have to go back and like look at all this stuff?
They would have had to, I guess. Yeah. The whole story of the Faceless Old Woman was not fleshed out from the day they first typed the words Faceless Old Woman. Obviously not. Like,
really? Why not?
Yeah, like they weren't like, let's have a character as a Faceless Old Woman. Quick, let me put together 350 pages of her backstory and then release that 6 years later,
Right.
So they definitely developed that character. But the most evocative scene in that book to me was in the Faceless Old Woman, is when she is on the ocean floor and her body reassembles. And that's it. I had no idea that was in this episode. It's like,
yeah, it's you. That's sort of the when you do it right, by which I mean you write this book about the Faceless Old Woman and you figure out how to expand on things you've already. It's almost like all right, let's take all these 40 facts that we know about the Faceless Old Woman. Mm-hmm. How do we build a story out of that, rather than we're going to build a story and just sort of ignore, like we'll hit some of the things that happen, other things will just feel like loose threads that we didn't pick up on. I think to actually execute on that and go, well, hey, and it also shows we know that the people who listen to this show will track all of this, that they know, they probably have a better memory. I'm sure they do for what happened to specific characters or what happened in specific storylines better than anybody, because they have a different relationship with it than the people who create it and then move on to create the next piece.
For real.
Did I come to a thought at the end of that? I have no idea anymore. It's quarantine, and
you did
ate chicken and pickles for lunch
together
after a bowl of edamame. Yeah, chicken breast, like deli chicken breast.
Oh, so like sliced chicken breast.
Sliced chicken breast. Yeah,
not like just like a hunk of chicken.
Just one hand you've got a chicken breast, the other hand you've got a dill, and you just alternate.
Or you bore a hole in the chicken and then shove a spear inside and then just eat it like that.
Yes, or you hollow out a pickle and put chicken inside it, and you get a chickle.
You could do that with chicken salad. That'd be nice with chicken salad.
It sure would. Oh,
yeah.
That's a good
I'm
idea.
going to roast a chicken tomorrow, guys. I've been doing it on the grill lately. Yeah,
Oh.
I roast chicken every Friday. Yeah, that's how I keep my shiksa card.
That's
Yeah, now that I'm not spending my days driving to theaters and my nights working at theaters,
yeah.
I do home stuff.
You can you can do all sorts of home stuff. Yeah,
Like make challah and roasted chicken every Friday night.
I gotta do roasted chicken.
Nice. Tomorrow I'm making a pear galette.
Oh, lovely.
Because I got a bunch of pear. I got actually somebody had a pear tree here, and gave me a bunch of pears. And I was like, well, I'm not going to eat all these pears. And you know how pears are? They're really hard one day, and then they're like perfect, and then they're destroyed. Like,
yeah, you have to eat them over the garbage can.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm like, they're all like pretty perfect. So tomorrow I'm going to chop them up and line them up beautifully inside of a puff pastry tart type thing.
Nice.
Love a galette.
I'll send you a picture.
I still haven't made the pie that I want to make. I mean, I've done it with I want to make a crust from scratch. I still haven't done that, but I do have all these cans of apple and cherry pie filling. I have 2 extra apple. I was thinking what I might do is I have a pint of vanilla ice cream. I may heat up a can of the pie filling and then just cover it in ice cream and eat that. Wouldn't that be a good idea?
I think that's a great idea.
I'm not mad at it.
I will counter to that, and I will say throw a handful of dry cereal in that just for a little crunch.
Whoa.
Oh, yes.
Whoa.
Oh, yes. Jeff
This
Goldblum,
is the point in our podcast where some of our listeners will probably be like, yeah, they're talking about food again. We're like, yeah. And then some people will be like, oh, they're talking about food again.
I think those people have left. Only the people who are excited about it remain.
But there's a child in the backseat of a car that has been forced to listen to this that is like, I'm hungry. Can we get home, please? Can we stop at McDonald's? And the parents have to be like, we have food at home. Just wait. But we're like here talking about apple pie, ice cream, cereal in a mug. I think you should eat it out of a mug if I had to say.
It won't fit in a mug.
What you're going to do.
I have one of those big ones that I put ice cream in.
Where you're going, you don't.
Yeah, we don't need roads. my bowl is the wheels tuck under it, and then it flies to the year 2015.
You can actually bathe in it.
Yeah, seriously.
Well, we'll try and continue to get through this episode so that you can go have your delicious sweet snack.
Never neglect crisp.
No, I agree.
You're right.
Well, that's why I like puff pastry and like all sorts of like any sort of crust that has like a buttery flakiness to it, because it just really offsets the sweet, so it's not too cloyingly sweet.
Yeah,
you know, that's why I don't like sugar when people sugar top stuff, because I'm like, there's already enough sugar in it.
Yeah, that's why I like an ice cream cone, because it's like I've got this sweet, cool, creamy thing, and then I can crunch a little bit.
At my local ice creamery, they have pretzel cones.
Ooh.
Yes.
Which make me happier than I would like to say. Meg, do you remember when we were in Detroit and we went to that ice cream place? It was like across from...
Yeah. That like window.
Yeah, it was like a window.
Yeah.
And we could get... I got salt on my ice cream.
Uh-huh.
I got my ice cream topped with like a finishing salt. Bro, can I tell you? I was just like doing the happy dance, like the booty shaking. Like I was like, yeah. I'm not gonna eat this ice cream. I'm so happy. That is what all of my food experiences I hope to have are like, where you do the wiggle butt dance. Anyway,
back to the important job that you were doing. I'll cede you the floor.
Thank you. I wanted to talk about the after party in the van.
Yes.
So Cecil comes to, he's very confused about like what happened, all that stuff. He's still handcuffed, which is kind of cute. Like I'm imagining, and I think they said it like this, that he was still handcuffed to the arm of the chair, but that everything else was destroyed. So he was walking with the handcuff on, right?
Yeah.
Attached to the chair arm. And so I'm imagining he's walking and his shoes were all blown up because they were wet. And he's like walking down the street, and then this car pulls up. He gets inside, and all of his friends are on the inside. Doesn't that seem like a dream?
Like a good dream.
Yeah.
Like a dream sequence?
Yes.
It's not, but like, it's great that it is, that it seems like that. Because it's like, and all of your friends were there. And Janice was there, and she loved the opera. And Steve was there, and he wasn't annoyed by Steve. And then Janice points out that Carlos is there.
Yeah.
I like I told you guys, I had stopped listening to the like episodes straight through at this point in the real world. But now so I'm not like I hadn't gone ahead. I was so excited. I knew he came back, but like today was the day. And I was very happy. I wonder if everyone else squeed about that too. Probably, right?
For sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I teared up.
Because he did say some nice things about what home really mean.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right?
Let me give you some background information on that. So this episode...
Tell us about it.
This episode aired on June 15th, 2015. Joseph Fink and I got married on June 7th, 2015. And part of Joseph's wedding vows to me were, where is it?
What, you don't have them memorized?
I don't have, I was wasted. I don't recall. No. Part of Joseph's wedding vows to me, where he talked a lot about like, you're my home. Like we'll always be home if we're together. And Carlos says the exact same thing. So
that's so romantic and beautiful.
He lifted that whole hog right out of his podcast for our wedding.
Does that make you feel nice?
Well,
that thought?
It's a nice, it really is, because it's like, it really is a nice thought, because we do travel so much and our lives are pretty tumultuous. Even now, like in the quarantine times, it's like as long as we're together, it's going to be okay. As long as we're together, we're home. There is no place that is as important as you are. Yeah. So Carlos says it. I'm just trying to find the page where it's like, Carlos, anywhere we're together is home. I said, and and repeated it.
It's very sweet. That made me. Yeah, that caught me.
That's when you kiss and you're like, you know that everything's right with the world again. Like, and when he says something about, you know, him thinking that he was going to, that this was the end and that he was going to be leaving and that this wouldn't be his home anymore. And, you know, he was kind of like sad about it, but also like ready for the change, but like still like wondering if he made the right choice. But then he didn't have to, because Carlos also said that it was his home too, and his home was with being with him. And that's so sweet. And that's all I think most people want out of life and love, is to feel comfortable and at home and happy and loved.
Sure. We all want to belong somewhere and with someone, really with someone more than anything. That's not, I mean, the location becomes attractive because of the people. So that idea, and, you know, both of them were sort of, I mean, even Carlos more looking for something different. Now, obviously things changed on him while he was in the desert world, but that realization that the most important thing is that the two of you are together, that is your family. And when you are in that very serious relationship, and especially when you get married, that's part of the adjustment, is realizing, hey, we are the family now, and everything else happens outside of that. That everything else has to step back a little bit, because this is the family now.
Familia.
Very true. It's as some would say, the familia.
Yeah, as they say at Olive Garden, and Olive Garden only.
Speaking of other relationships, his relationship with Dana, and like
where Violet is like, hey, this isn't me. Like, I might have wrecked a lot of stuff by buying you, but I didn't wreck your relationship with Dana. You did that because you didn't trust her.
Right. Yeah. Which was cold-blooded, I thought. And also, like, you didn't even really talk to your friend. Like, he was mad at her and didn't confront her about it. Yeah. And I think that's a real mark of a friendship, is to be like, hey, I'm pissed at you, and you maybe work through it. Or be like, because sometimes things are you're talking in your head, right? And you're like, I'm upset that this person said this, did this, whatever. But if you don't say it to that person, they might not know what you're upset about, right? Or know that they even felt slighted or wronged by you. So I think one of the lessons there is to, you know, talk to your friends. Like, if something's going on, like, maybe talk to them and work through it. And Trish Hidge came up to him and told Cecil, he's like, sorry, we had to put you in the handcuffs, but you obviously didn't want to fight this fight. So we didn't want to make you fight this fight. And like, we just wanted to let you be there so we could fight this fight on our own. And then Dana like winked and stuff like that from across, and he said, I'm sorry, across the thing. Do you think she knew what he meant by that? Or do you think she didn't care? She was like, okay, like, I don't know what you mean.
I think she knew what he meant, because like this was the night it was revealed that it wasn't her that bought him, and wasn't her that was like manipulating him to protect her.
Yeah. But did she know that he thought that, though?
I think he did. I think there was like a couple episodes back, there was the like, I think it's you.
He also said it on the radio.
Yeah. Which everyone listens to.
Yeah.
Right. But he never like specifically, like, they didn't have like a full conversation about it. Like, it was just like a thing said. Well, either way, talk to people. If you have an issue, don't just be a butthole about it.
And take people at their word. I know that like it's really hard to do that, but if someone is your friend, you owe them to take them at their word. And if they are lying to you, then that's really on them. That's
right.
That's something that shows that they're not the person that you really should be friends with. It depends on the scale of the lie, obviously, but like, just trust in people. It's a safer, I don't know. Everyone's life is different. Every relationship is different, but I feel like trust is a much safer place to be than alienating someone based on what you thinking that they're lying to you.
Yeah.
There's so much more room for paranoia on that side.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pivoting back. So this is the episode. So this is 70B. This is Cecil's. This is going to be my last episode. This is going to be my last episode. He's saying it's coming. And then he goes into a black hole. And then he comes out of the black hole and the world is broken and there's this big storm. And he's walking down the streets and he catches his reflection in a puddle. Which is, he always has that thing with mirrors and like his past and who he was. And he says he thinks about his mother and he hasn't for a while. And then we go to the weather and then we come back from the weather and he's walking along the street and he's feeling weird. And then tires screech onto the street. And we had in the Leonard Burton episode where Leonard no longer becomes the voice of Night Vale. It's that car accident that like completely comes for him. So it's like, it's kind of, Cecil's walking in Leonard Burton's footsteps. But when the car comes, this time it's a limo filled with all of his friends and family.
It's his friends.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that whole thing.
I didn't either. That's a
Damn, Meg.
brilliant connection. You should host a podcast about this show.
Mind canon. It's my mind canon.
Mind cannons.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's like it kind of has this like low grade suspense in the background of like, is something going to happen to Cecil? Like he's having this weird mirror event. We had that episode a few episodes back where the voice of Night Vale stopped being the voice of Night Vale because of this car accident and weirdness. And now here's a bunch of weirdness in another car. But hey, get in, Cecil.
But it turned out okay.
Or he died, and that is what heaven is.
Is you in a big car, an unbelievable, impossibly big car on the inside with all of your friends? See, that's what I was saying, like a dream.
Yeah, like an afterlife. Like the Titanic, like in the film Titanic, as you know, at the end of it, when Rose finally dies, spoilers, she's welcomed back onto the ship.
Oh, right. I forgot about that part
And
of the
Leo
movie,
D is
honestly.
there.
That's right.
I think every time I'm like mad, every time I'm mad about that movie, because I'm mad at the end, because I'm like, he could have fit on that
Yep.
fucking door.
It's been proven.
And I'm really mad about it. So, like, I usually just shut down, like, right after that part. I don't think I've seen the rest of it, but I'm like, yeah, she's old again. She fucking tosses that necklace into the sea or whatever. But I didn't remember the end part. But you're right. She does get welcomed back onto the ship. And that is the end of Lost. Hey, remember that show with the smoke monster? That ended terribly, that everyone was just dead. See, that's why I don't think Night Vale is, because that's what a lot of people think, is that Cecil is dead or in a coma or having a mental distress sort of thing.
Yeah. For me, it's more dimensional shifts.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, maybe it's not life or death, but it's this kind of walking between mirrors sort of thing. Other worlds in this world. And
do you think that's only happening to Cecil, or do you think it's happening to everyone?
I think it's happening to all of us right now. And I think we're in the mirror world.
Ugh, should have known.
Let's sigh.
So, just sigh it out. Which is an inside joke, which we were joking about from before this recording started, that we're not going to share with you.
Yeah, this is not for you. Sorry about it.
We're just going to sigh it out over here. But why sigh it out when we could talk about other stuff? Like how up next, we're going to hear from fans and friends of the podcast about their theories, comments, and questions. But first, a conversation about this episode's weather, which was a line by Abby Wolf.
Yay.
Okay. Here's the other reason why I felt like it was a dream. This part was like, it felt dreamlike because of this song. First of all, shout out, love you, Abby Wolf.
Yes.
You are the coolest person, Halloween loving, spoopy person that I love. You are awesome. This song is it's so dreamy, slightly reverby, phrases melting into other phrases. And I love this song. I have this whole album, and I've listened to it a number of times. And I think it fits well with this episode because it's a nice transition from all of the action that's happening before this to the dreamscape type reflective sort of thought mind cannons that happen after after the weather happens. And I just love this song.
Yeah.
Love this song. Love Abby Wolf. I do. I think that it does kind of contribute to the dreamlike nature of it. It just, and then also like she's an incredible vocalist. That's her trade. She's a Minnesota-based vocalist and composer, and so it's great that this is an opera episode and we have this powerhouse vocalist be the weather. So it's like we don't really get an opera or any sort of thing of it. There's not singing mentioned at all, but we get this like powerhouse vocalist come through as the weather, which I think is dope. Abby Wolf is great. We went on tour with Abby Wolf in 2015. She sings with Dessa in Dessa's act, and she makes a lot of music. She works with a lot of different bands. She has an incredible voice, an incredible ear. She's a great drummer. She's terrific. She got married. This episode was again June 15th, 2015. She got married on June 6th, 2015. So her wedding was the day before mine. I remember that when we were both on tour, we were both like, so we're getting married whenever this tour ends. So. And it did. But yeah, Abby Wolf. Yeah. And her husband's last name is Journey. So together they are Wolf Journey.
Yeah. Bitchin' name.
Yeah, right.
Yes. I'm really happy. Like, I don't know what the future holds for me, but I'm happy that my path crossed with Abby Wolf in this life.
Right?
Yes.
But yeah, she's got some music out there, and she also collaborates with a lot of people a lot of times. So if you're looking for just an incredible vocalist and composer, musician to listen to, you can do that on the internet.
Hal, what'd you think?
I loved it. I love Abby. Super talented. I thought it was great. Like, I never have too much to say about the weather. It's very rare. Oh no, I'm not apologizing for it. I'm just stating it out loud so that when I don't go into a long piece, it's like, yeah, I really liked it. I was happy to I feel the same way as Meg, happy to have crossed paths with Abby in life and happy to have crossed paths with Abby in this podcast episode.
Hal, I just like to hear what you think. And whether it's extensive or that you just liked it, I just like to hear it,
I appreciate that.
Because I honor you.
And I honor you.
Oh, namaste.
Namaste.
But let's not stay. Let's go. Let's go get a calzone.
Let's namas go.
Oh, to the FanZone Calzone.
FanZone Calzone.
Stay right there. Good Morning Night Vale will return after a brief break.
I almost ordered a calzone the other day, by the way, but I didn't. I couldn't. I ordered a pizza instead. These are my own personal dramas. Go ahead.
I should fold a pizza in half. Sorry. Oh, I got. Willa writes, "Hi, it's Willa again. My first email was not mentioned on this podcast yet, but try again. Maybe it'll help if I talk about a specific episode I like rather than just Homestuck."
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, there you go. You figured it out. You solved the equation. I love taking off /review a lot. Honestly, I love the whole arc leading up to 70A and B a lot. I haven't listened to all of the show yet, but the way the arc problem was emotional rather than supernatural really made it hit different. The whole time I was listening to Cecil talk about leaving Night Vale, I was going, no, Night Vale needs you, Cecil. You can make change instead of giving up. That's my interpretation of what it sounds like. And frustrating my dad and brother, who were listening with me very much. Wow, this email got long. Anyway, I love that, by the way. That's something Willa wrote. That's not me offering commentary. Anyway, I love the podcast, and y'all are a delight. All hail. Was the glow cloud in this episode? Whatever. Willa. That is a good point. It just hits different.
It does hit different.
That idea of the emotional tie to it rather than it being like a weird ghost is showing up and everybody's eyes are turning into chocolate. Not that that's something that, by the way, Joseph and Jeffrey, you're welcome for that great idea I just gave you. But not having
weird ghost.
Yeah, there is no, I mean, the MacGuffin is a person and it's a lot of emotional, everybody's coming from a place of emotion and they're acting on something emotional.
Yeah.
Whether it's the frustration of defeat or just like envy or resentment or love.
Mistrust. Yeah, the big bad is, it's these relationships and how we handle them, and big life issues like where you live and what your relationship looks like and who your friends are. And that's the meat of this.
Yeah.
The five-headed dragon is only really there to be like, the violet is just like, hey, I understand that I'm a problem, but I'm not your whole problem. Cool. Yeah, Willa, thank you so much for writing in. Also, a tip for anyone who's looking to get on this show. If you talk about the episodes that we are going to be doing in the future, you're likely to get on the show, because that is ideally how I curate this section of the show, is with stuff that is on topic. So, Willa, you cracked the code. You cracked the algorithm of me searching a Gmail inbox for keywords like review
70B.
and 70B.
And McDonald's.
You're a smart one, and I appreciate you.
Familia.
All right. Jacob writes to us, good morning. I was only introduced to the world of Night Vale in August of last year, but have caught up on Welcome to Night Vale, Alice Isn't Dead, The Orbiting Human Circus, Within the Wires, and It Makes a Sound since then.
Oh, damn.
I'm currently listening to Welcome to Night Vale and your show, Good Morning Night Vale, so I can remember what happened in the episode you're talking about. Good work. That's a great way to use this show. I have a hypothesis that I formulated while listening to episode 39, Woman from Italy. In episode 70B, we learned that Violet was the being that purchased Lot 37 back in episode 37, the auction. And we also learned that Violet has been thwarting the assassination attempts on the Mayor Cardinal by using Cecil, aka Lot 37. My hypothesis is that in that episode, the woman from Italy, the voice that takes over Cecil sporadically, is Violet trying to warn everyone about the danger that the woman from Italy has posed at the time. The reason that Cecil didn't notice when Violet's voice took over is also explained in the episode 35, Lazy Day. Cecil has no recollection of when Violet takes over to rescue Dana. And in Lazy Day, we learn that the ability to talk is so natural and ingrained into Cecil that I hypothesize if he were reading a report and was taken over by a strange force, he wouldn't notice and keep pace with where he thinks he would be in the report when he resumes. There is some difference in how Violet talks on the show compared to the voice that takes over Cecil, but I think that this is due to the difference in human and literal five-headed dragon biology. I also want to clarify your confusion regarding cousins and their placements that all of you had in episode 53, the September monologues. Before you wonder, yes, I am Mormon, but no, they did not teach us this in some kind of school. I interned for their genealogical website and learned it all that way. A first cousin once removed would be the cousin of your parents. Removed indicates a difference in the number of generations between your common ancestor and your cousin compared to the number of generations between you and your common ancestor.
Already lost.
This gone, right?
Yeah, so gone.
My brain is cheesecake. The number of differences between those numbers is how many times removed your cousin is. A second cousin is someone who shares the same great-grandparents as you, but not the same grandparents. That number affixed essentially indicates how many adjectives are in front of the word parents when referring to your common ancestor.
Fuck, what?
Hope this clarifies things a bit for you.
Nope.
Thanks
I'm done.
for all the work that Night Vale does. It makes the workday bearable. Jacob, thank you. I appreciate you trying to educate us through words. We appreciate that. Yeah, thank you for sharing your mind canons with us about, I think it is an interesting point that Cecil is pretty susceptible to having things get taken over from him.
Yeah.
It kind of happens occasionally. And
occasionally it happens all the time. Like he gets like possessed or taken over or passes out or forgets that someone was there all the time.
Yeah.
Like numerous people. The woman from Italy, the friggin' man in the tan jacket, the fucking glow cloud. Like, I mean, I know this happens to a lot of people, but like, it's kind of par for the course. It's like you're gonna be like taken over by something or someone at some point. Welcome to Night Vale, friends.
By the way, Jacob, could I just say, hello, my name is Hal Lublin, and I would like for you to tell me about my family tree. Ding dong. Thank you. Book of Mormon, everybody. Book of Mormon. Now not playing on Broadway. It's September 3rd.
Oh. Yeah, I didn't understand it, hardly any of that.
It's the opening number of Book of Mormon.
Not Book of Mormon, the genealogy thing, dude.
Oh, yeah, I don't get that either.
Yeah.
I think I get it.
You do?
I mean, I kind of get it, but like maybe this is it. As a Black person in this time, I have like my family tree. I can kind of go back to like my grandparents' parents, but I know very little about them. And she also doesn't know, like my grandmother, those were her parents. She knows like what they told her, but like there's not like a lot of records because a lot of Black people didn't have birth certificates, were not issued birth certificates. And so some of the people, like the only records that they have are from like wars that they fought in.
Right.
You know, and they just were like, oh, you say you're 16? Cool, type thing. So that for me is kind of weird. So I know I have a bunch of cousins and random stuff that I have no idea where they are or whatever. But I think that has to do with like record keeping.
But Jacob does.
Jacob does. Jacob, can you tell me who
He knows where your cousins are.
Damn it. I know my regular cousins, like my cousins that are closely related. I have like 8 of those.
All right.
You don't know about your removed cousins. Though.
Jacob, right back in. Let's see if I got this right. My cousin Jordan, his father, and my father are first cousins. Their fathers were brothers. So they shared grandparents. So that would make him, the one that's my father's first cousin, would be my first cousin once removed. And then his son would be my second cousin? Right back in, Jacob, and let us know.
In the meantime, we'll go to the next person that we have in the calzone. NJ. NJ writes, hello, Meg, Symphony, and Hal. I hope you are all surviving well during this crazy time to be alive. It's certainly been an interesting adventure for me. Anyways, lately there's been an alarming notice of the amount of people with paintings of the Faceless Old Woman. It's crazy how many paintings are out there, and if we're still keeping score, I'd like to add my own personal painting to the list. Oh yes, please do. It started when I was still trying to get my roommates into the podcast by subtly, that's in quotation marks, playing it in the background as often as I could. Not much came of it, except for everyone joining in with praising the glow cloud, all hail, when it came up. At least that's what I thought. Enter the celebration of Christmas before the glorious year of our Lord 2020. One of my roommates has an uncle that is a professional artist, and so she commissioned him to do a painting. And now I am a proud member of the growing conspiracy to truly have the Faceless Old Woman live in everyone's home, at least in painting form. I hope this keeps growing, and I hope it keeps happening as people don't actively seek out paintings, but somehow just acquire them. After all, what's more Night Vale than that? Hope to hear from y'all soon, NJ. And inserted, they have a picture. Oh, wow.
So cool.
She's smoking.
She's smoking a little I'm going to say she's smoking weed.
Yeah.
She's smoking a smoke.
Smoking the weed? Smoky?
I'll put that on the Patreon.
She looks a little like she's wearing but I love it. It's like a little spacey.
Yeah.
It's a little like maybe she's under the water, but she's smoking, so probably not.
Yeah.
She's probably also not in space because she's smoking.
Is that a messy bun in the back?
Yes.
Okay.
That's a really sweet gift. It's really sweet that your roommates were like listening to you and thought of a thoughtful gift for you. I think that's really lovely. When someone knows you and gets you a gift, that shows that they know you.
Yes.
I agree. Meg, when does this episode air?
This episode will air in 2 weeks.
Okay, great.
So that will be September the 17th.
That's wild. That date is going to be a real thing.
I hope so.
That it's going to air, or that date will come.
That we'll get to. We shall achieve September 17th as a day.
Nice. I hope so, because my mom's birthday is on the 16th, and I'd like to celebrate her with her. But 2020, who knows? The aliens could come and take us all. But barring that, Hopefully we'll talk to you all very soon in the next episode, which is called Registry of Middle School Crushes. We want to thank you all for joining us this week, as with all of our other weeks. We love you guys. You're amazing. If you haven't already and you can do it, follow us on Patreon, join our Patreon, and that's patreon.com/goodmorning
Night Vale.
Patreon.com/Good Morning Night Vale to find more awesome Cool Kid content. But until then, sweet babes, good morning, Night Vale. Good morning. Do, 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 do.
Good Morning Night Vale is a Night Vale Presents production. It is hosted by Symphony Sanders, Hal Lublin, and Meg Bashwiner. It is edited by Grant Stewart and mixed by Vincent Cacchione. It is produced by Meg Bashwiner. Theme music by Disparition. Special thanks to our fans who submitted their thoughts this week. Leave us a voicemail at 929-277-2050 or email us at info@goodmorningnightvale.com to share your theories and ask questions, or to share your recipe for pumpkin spice incoming seasonal depression. This show is powered by our patrons like Barrett Woodruff, Brittany Metz, Red L, Catherine Myers, and Richard Young. If you are interested in supporting the show in exchange for lots of fun, exclusive, hyper cool kid content like ad-free episodes, behind-the-scenes pictures, and being my sole source of joy in this world, check us out at patreon.com/goodmorningnightVale. For more info on this show, go to goodmorningnightVale.com and follow us on Facebook and on Twitter at Night Vale Chat. Special thanks to Joella Knapp, Jeffrey Craner, and Joseph Fink. Today's adverb is astride. Seeing equestrian and activist Brianna Noble astride her horse, Dapper Dan, at the Oakland protest this year was my favorite horse moment of the year. In Brianna's words, you can't ignore a big old pretty horse with a black woman on it. You certainly cannot. Thank you, Brianna, and thank you, Dapper Dan.